Hello everyone, the design of machine elements 2. So myself Swarup, assistant professor. So I will be teaching about the design of machine elements 2. So worm case. So in this also will be covering second type of problems. Okay. So topics will be covered: design procedure of worm case, design procedure of and problems on worm case. Okay. So the data handbook will be using a 4th edition by Belvederity. So basically we cover the design procedure. Okay, so in lecture 1, if you want you can check out that video. Okay, so I just have taken here just for your reference. Okay, so no need to shift back to other videos. Okay, yeah, so in this problem we shall solve where center distance is not given. Okay, this is just a basic problem for your understanding. Okay, so you can see left side I'm just solving the problems, and the right side I'm just pasting the data handbooks pages, okay, which are in random, which are not in sequence with the problem, because it's very difficult to have a number of pages in one slide. So I just randomly pasted. I tried maximum to match the equation and the data handbook pages. Okay, so let's see. So a triple threaded worm. What is a triple threaded worm? I told you one thread represents one teeth, as in we discussed in spur and helical gears. One thread represents one teeth here. So Z1 of a worm we take it as tree. Why it is triple threaded? Okay. Of 6 module, M he has given. Pitch circle diameter he has given D1. So if the worm gear has 30 teeth, so worm gear will be having 30 teeth, Z2, and has given the alpha 14.5, and the coefficient of friction of the worm gear is 0.05. Now what is asking? Find the efficiency of the worm gearing, lead angle of the worm, velocity ratio, and center distance. Okay, so let's see how to solve. So the very first thing is the lead angle. The formula of lead angle will be getting from page number 221. Okay, tan gamma is equals to, these are the three different formulas, where the lead length of the lead, where it has taken an initial step to rotate a worm gear, so that is pi into m into z1. Okay, so this if you cancel it, you will be getting m into z1 divided by d1. So these formulas will be getting from data handbook. Okay, so just substitute the values, you will be getting the gamma, that is lead angle. Next is velocity ratio I dash. Okay, so here velocity ratio he has given the number of teeth 30 by 3. Okay, that is I dash. Next one is center distance. Center distance is we can take it is equals to d1 plus d2 by 2. Since d2 he has not given, you can take in terms of m into z2, where module is nothing but diametrical of pitch circle diameter divided by number of teeth. Okay, just modifications. We'll be getting the center distance. The next thing is efficiency. We'll be getting from Burr's formula. It is from page number 225. You can use this formula where efficiency is taken. Efficiency is equals to 86.22%. You will get this. Okay. So this is the next problem, which is a design. See. So when the center distance is known. Okay. So if center distance A is given, so let's see how to solve the problem. Design is suitable worm gearing with the following details. Power, speed ratio, and pressure angles are given. Center distance is given. This is important thing. Worm speed he has given, that is N1. Take it in terms of RPS divided by 60. Okay. The material of the worm is hardened steel with the design stress. He has given the design stress, and the worm wheel is phosphor bronze with the design stress. He has given sigma D1 and sigma D2. Okay. So since he has given the speed, okay, n1 and alpha a, everything he has given. Okay, simultaneously he has given the speed ratio. So from this you can calculate the worm gear speed, that is n2. Okay, taken in terms of rps. So next is first step is identifying the weaker part. As we know, by default we have to assume worm gear substituting to a weaker section. Okay, so next, to find the diameter, so as I told you, in the design procedure, if center distance is known, directly you can use this formula. Pitch circle diameter of the worm. You can take it as a to the power of this formula from page number 223. Okay, just substitute the value of A to calculate the module. So this is the center distance. So module you can go for page number 223. Okay, so from this you can calculate the corresponding diameter of the page worm gear, that is D2. You can see the equation 12.5. So these formulas we can take from here. This is the equation. You can see, okay, D1, this is page number 223. Now let's find the unknowns from this formula. The very first unknown to calculate CV, before that we need to know the velocity by d2 n2, that is 0.686 meters per second. Okay, we're just taking RPS just for easy calculations, that's all. Okay, just substitute the value of V, will getting CV, where CV formula we're getting from page number 223. So you can see directly it is available here, which takes into account the dynamic load. Okay, next, face width. So this is the formula which we'll be getting from next page. Okay, face width I will be showing in next slide. So that formula is just substitute the value of center distance, we'll be getting the value of B. Okay, and one more thing guys, you just round it off to next higher values. Okay, so as and when we don't need exactly the decimal values, just make it to round off to next higher values. Okay, so the next thing is to find the effective torque. Okay, to find the effective torque. So this is the formula which we'll be using, effective torque, from page number 223 itself. You can see here where MT represents the effective torque, where MT is known as MT into KL, where KL is a load factor. You can take it from page number 12.33. In that table you will be getting this load factor values. Okay, now substitute the value of MT by calculating using this power equation formula. P is equals to 2 pi into MT. Okay, so from here we'll be getting MT in terms of Newton mm. So this is very much important that you have to remember. Okay, just substitute back in FT formula where the unknowns have been calculated here step by step. Then you will be getting the value of FT. Okay, now so next step is to calculate the three known values. That is, for alpha is equals to 14.5. So he has given the alpha in the question. Just find the value of y from this table, that is 12.28c to 244. Now a velocity ratio has been given. Okay, so I is greater than 20, so hence we can take z1 is equals to. Similarly, that z2 will be equals to 27. Okay, this is very much important step. Just substitute the values of everything. Be careful, this is small y, but here it is capital Y. Okay, so capital Y is equals to pi into small y. Just substitute the value of y from the table, we will be getting capital Y. So if you substitute all the values in that 2/3 formula, you will be getting the value of module m. So correspondingly you can check in table, standard table from to find the module. So you will be getting 8 mm. Okay, so next very important thing is to calculate the lead angle. So lead angle, you will be getting this page, this formula. Okay, from here you can substitute m, z1 and d1. From there you will be getting the value of lead angle, that is gamma. Okay guys, next thing is to calculate the dynamic tooth load, that is dynamic strength. Okay, in previous step in a previous page there we will getting the dynamic load formula. Okay, from there you can take it. So sigma d we have to take with respect to worm gear, that is sigma d2. Okay, this is very much important step. Then b you know, y you know, m you know, just substitute with, will be getting the strength. Okay, next one is to find the wear load. Wear load, you know guys, W is equals to d2 bk. So this is getting from page number 227. Okay, just substitute the values of gamma, you know. Okay, for gamma you can go to page number 246. Okay, there table number 12.3 with respect to gamma, which lies between 0 to 10. Okay, by the material of hardened steel and phosphor bronze, if you check it properly, you will be getting the value K as 0.549. Okay, just substitute the value of K here, you will be getting the wear load. But your wear load must be always greater than the your dynamic strength. Then only your wear load will be sustaining by the gears. Okay. Next is to find the efficiencies. So this is the efficiency formula from page number 225, where we have to consider that worm drives the worm gear. Okay, where worm drives the worm gear. If he has given in the question, no problem, you can take it directly. Or if he has not given, you consider worm drives the worm gear. Okay. Tan theta is equals to find the unknown value theta and mu. We just take tan theta from page number 224 formula. Just substitute the value of alpha and gamma here. You'll be getting the value of theta. Then mu is equals to, depending on the rubbing velocity, to find mu, we need rubbing velocity. Okay, just substitute the values of unknowns here. We'll be getting rubbing velocity. If you substitute rubbing velocity, we're getting the values of mu. Okay. See here. So I have calculated here. V must be substituted back here. You're getting rubbing coefficient of friction. So this is the coefficient of friction. You need to substitute back in the equation. You're getting the percentage, that is efficiency. Okay. So next step and the last step of this problem is to find the heat generated. So basically, gas during engagement they will start producing heat. So correspondingly, you can see here data handbook page number 227, where the heat dissipation and heat generated formulas have been mentioned. Okay. So heat generator formula is this. To find the value of Fn, you can use this formula, or I have shown in the design procedure. Use that also. Okay. Then Qg, just substitute values of everything, and you will be getting the value of Qg. And if you want to calculate heat dissipated, you can see here formula where efficiency is known, power is known. If you substitute, you will be getting the value of Q. Okay. So this is heat dissipated. As I told you, if your heat dissipated value is more than the heat generated value, okay, then cooling is not required. If it is lesser than the heat generated, then artificial cooling is required. Then you have to write such a statement and conclude the problem. Okay, a simple problem. So let's see to solve a different problem. Okay, so design a worm drive of a speed reducer to transmit 30 kilowatt. He has given worm speed, he has given, okay, that is n1. The required velocity ratio is 25:1. He has given the velocity ratio I dash. Okay, the worm is made up of C30 heat treated steel and worm wheel is made of phosphor bronze. The service conditions are intermediate operations with medium shocks. He has given service conditions. Also calculate the heat dissipation through drive. Okay, so he has given the value of C30 heat treated steel. Okay, so he has given the material. Okay guys, next thing is worm gear. Okay, he has given the value of phosphor bronze as a type of material for that thing. Okay, next thing, so since he has not mentioned the sigma d values of both, you can go to page number 234 12.7 table corresponding to the heat treated values and phosphor bronze materials of both worm and worm gear. You will get the sigma d and sigma d2. Okay, now the first thing is to have a weaker part. As I told you, always you need to assume weaker as a worm gear. Okay, and start solving as a design. Now first thing is to find the center distance, because center distance is unknown, it is not given in the question. Okay, use this formula to find the center distance first, and corresponding to this center distance here, substitute back here to find the value of diameter of worm. Okay, similarly you can substitute in this A equation, you will getting the diameter of the worm gear, that is D2. Okay, next one. Correspondingly, you can watch here right side where the data handbook I have been pasted. So corresponding formulas will be available. It will be available here, and it's easy for you to understand, and you can directly solve from here. Okay. So this is the next thing is to have a tangential tooth load. Okay. From this formula, we need to find the unknown values where V is being calculated, CV is known, and the next is B, that is face width. Okay, and you can use this formula and calculate. The next thing is tangential tooth load. So this is very much important step, guys. If you see service conditions he has given, I repeat, the service conditions have been given. So that service conditions you need to multiply here CS. Okay, in this step we have to take service conditions. Okay, so this step you don't forget. Okay, keep remember this point is very important thing. Service conditions must be multiplied here. Ft, that is permissible tooth load. Okay. Since service conditions he has given, you need the values of service factor. You can go for page number 235. So there you will be getting the service conditions. Okay. He has given the medium. Okay. So intermittent hours it is running, you can take it as 1.25. Okay. The very first column it is available. If you substitute back KL value and assume KL as a stress factor as 1. Okay. So from here to find the value of MT, you can use the power formula. Okay. If you substitute all, you are getting MT. Substitute back in the FT formula, you are getting the value of FT. Okay. This is the tangential tooth load. That is done. Okay. Now, to we know that I dash is greater than 20. Since you know Z1 we have to take as 1, that is number of threads is single thread. For single thread your alpha will be 14.5. For alpha 14.5 your Lewis factor will be 0.1. That is small y it is. Okay. So many students will make a mistake while solving this problem. Okay. They directly substitute the value of small y in this equation. But don't do that, guys. This is capital Y and this is small y. Okay. Just multiply it with pi. Okay. Module you will be getting. So you need to standardize the module. Okay, from the table 12.2. So next step is to find the lead angles. As you know how to find the lead angle. Okay, using this formula. Substitute value of module, number of teeth on at the single thread, it is diameter of the worm. You're getting this is the standard formula, guys. Don't change it according to the weaker one or stronger one. Okay, this is the standard formula that you have to take always with respect to worm. Okay. Next thing is to find the dynamic tooth load. You know the value of sigma d b by m. That is sigma d have to do with respect to worm gear. Okay. So this step will be careful while taking the sigma d value. Okay. Next step is to find the wear tooth load. So as you know the wear tooth load formula is this. Before that we need to find the value of k. That k is depending on the lead angle. Corresponding to that we will be getting the value of k. Substitute back we will be getting the value of fw. Okay. So next thing is Fw is less than Fs subjected to gear wear. Hence improve VHN. Okay. Improve VHN. So this is very much important statement you need to be written. Okay. Next is to find the efficiency. So efficiency method remains same again when worm drives the worm gear. So theta and mu are the unknown values. Theta you can calculate from this formula. Okay. Where alpha and gamma is known. Previous has been calculated. Next is mu. Coefficient of friction is calculated by using the rubbing velocity. Substitute back here in mu. We'll be getting the value of mu. Okay. Now, the very much important step is heat generated. This is what he is asking. Heat dissipated in the gas. So we'll be considering this formula. So I told you guys, you always take Fn. As I repeat once again, in previous all the problems. Okay, what you have written to find the value of Fn, you use this formula because this is available in the data handbook. Okay, please do these changes. Okay, next thing is if you get the value of Fa, that is normal load acting on the tooths of the gears, they will be getting the heat generated. So once you get the heat generated, you need to calculate heat dissipated values. Since power is known, efficiencies are known, directly substitute getting the heat dissipation value. Since heat dissipated is less than heat generated, artificial cooling is necessary. In the previous problems, it is heat generated was more than the heat dissipation. Okay. So here we need to have a artificial cooling is very much important. Okay. Thank you guys. This is the worm gear problems.